boy, I don't like people talking to me like that. You opened this can of worms, so you're damn well going to have to be civil to me until we can sort the whole mess out. Now, you sit there, and you sit there. And I don't care how long it takes. But we're going to come to some sort of agreement about what really happened 22 years ago.
I really don't see what you hope to achieve by coming here.
Call it my pride, if you like. How do you think I felt when John barged in at work and fed me a story I know isn't true?
Obviously, your memory isn't as good as mine.
You don't have to yell at each other.
Quite right, John. I met a sophisticated young lady who seemed to know exactly what she was doing.
Oh, rubbish. You led me on the way you did most of the other girls.
As I said, seemed to know exactly what she was doing.
You knew I didn't want to terminate the pregnancy. You knew how scared I was.
That's not the impression I got.
Oh, come on.
I wasn't a mind reader.
Anyone with an ounce of sensitivity should have known. It's not as if you hadn't been around.
We were only kids. If I knew then what I do now...
What do you mean we were only kids? You were married, for God's sake.
That's no guarantee of maturity. I was 22, irresponsible. Okay, selfish. I didn't realize what that sort of thing did to a woman. Otherwise, I never would have suggested it. Kids were a lot more ignorant of those things 20 years ago. Even married kids.
That is a cop-out, and you know it.
I don't know any such thing. And if anyone had tried to tell me, I wouldn't have listened. I was far too mature. We both felt the same way.
Oh, no, we did not.
Okay, fine. And you gave a damn good impression of it.
Why on earth did you think I told my sister all about it?
Why didn't you tell me?
Because I was in love with you. I thought you were sophisticated and worldly. And I didn't want you to think I was... well, what I was. A scared kid of 17.
Such a pity you hadn't said anything.
Oh, would it have made any difference?
Who knows? At that age, I didn't have a clue what it was to put a woman through that sort of trauma. If I'd known, or at least been made to understand, then maybe...
You'd have married me?
I don't honestly know. But at least I would have known you were only a frightened girl of 17.
And maybe we were both too young to be able to read each other's feelings.
Such a pity you didn't give me the benefit of the doubt then.
I'm not saying I'm giving it to you now.
Aren't you?
Perhaps.
Seems to me like a case of crossed wires.
Could be.
Thank you. Glad the garden's looking nice. Then should get some good shots.
I don't see why we should be lumbered with them.
Well, I don't mind.
You will when they trample all over the plants.
As long as they trample out some bugs while they're at it. You know, I've tried everything else. I think they actually thrive on this stuff.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Yes, you came top of the class.
Oh, it couldn't possibly be our hero. Unless, of course, there were no other dogs present.
Well, there was a full class. Here, you show up. I'm going to get him some water.
There's the proof. They give one every week to the top dog.
Oh, let's hope he doesn't take a backslide when we go to Woombye.
Who'll be looking after him?
Wendy.
I thought you'd asked her to join us.
Well, I dropped a few hints, but she didn't pick any up. Anyway, someone's got to be here for the fashion spread.
I hope you don't mind about that.
Of course not. I think she'll be happier amongst that lot than with us.
The dinner the other night seemed to do wonders for her and Paul, but I get the feeling I'm still well on the outer.
Can I freshen up anyone's drinks?
No, thanks. I must be going.
I'm glad you came over. I sorted out a lot of things.
It's a pity we didn't talk so frankly 22 years ago.
Would it have made any difference?
I like to think so. Well, I'll see myself out.
Before you go, sorry about this morning. I'm not normally like that.
I should hope not.
Goodbye.
Sounds very final.
There's no reason to see each other again.
I am the father of your children.
You're up early.
Felt so good I didn't want to stay in bed.
Looking better every day. Last night helped. How do you feel about him now?
I don't feel anything either way. Can't hate him anymore. What he said made sense. By the same token, I don't feel anything for him either. No, it's all too long ago.
So what now?
Forget him. Get on with our lives.
It's not that cut and dried for me.
Why?
I have to tell Dad what happened.
Why worry him when we'll probably never see Martin again?
You never know. I'll call round home after work.
Up to you. Better hurry up and have your shower. You won't have time for breakfast.
On my way. You got any plans for today?
Going shopping in Toorak Road.
Sounds expensive.
Oh, who cares? Felt like such a frump lately. When you see me tonight, I'll look as if I've stepped out of vogue.
How's it going, girls?
Oh, fantastic. The garden's perfect. Good. I wish we could give you more time, but I'm planning on taking a few shots myself today.
Oh, it's no hassle. Drew says we've got no worries about finishing by 12.
Talk too soon. My filter's scratched. Okay if I use your phone to get a replacement.
Let me see. No need. I can help you out.
Good woman. Set the next shot up, okay?
Right. Let's go.
Looks like you're really into it.
Yes, there you go.
Thanks. Expensive hobby.
I'm not an amateur.
Oh, who'd you work for?
I'm freelance.
Done any fashion work?
A bit.
And I haven't run across you before.
I've been working in the States.
Yeah? What type of work?
A few of the glossies.
Wendy Armstrong. Right. You're the Wendy Armstrong. How about that? I've seen a lot of your stuff. Why didn't you say something before?
I never talk shop when I'm on holidays.
Sure. Are you enjoying being back?
Love it.
Oh, half your luck. I could do with a nice long holiday. I was wondering why I hadn't seen any of your work around for a while.
I've been trying to cut back.
Listen, you and Paul must have dinner with me before you take off. I've got some friends who'd love to meet you.
Oh, well, I haven't got a lot of free time, but I'll see how I go.
Great. Be in touch. Half an hour and we'll wrap it up.
Here's a bit much.
Bit hard to take.
Knowing his type, he'll be on the phone first thing tomorrow trying to wangle a few contracts out of me.
Could avoid him if we went away for the weekend.
Well, wonderful idea. Where to?
How about Mumbai?
You don't give up, do you?
Gordon's a great bloke when you get to know him.
No commercials, okay?
Okay. But I still think it's a good idea. You could get some terrific shots and you wouldn't have to see much of him. It's beautiful countryside.
So Mum was saying. She kept dropping sledgehammer hints.
She'd love to see you.
Maybe she would. Okay. Why not? Don't look so smug. It's either that or Drew. Lesser of two evils.
Oh, wish I could ride a horse.
You can have your first lesson tomorrow if Alan can spare the horses.
Great.
I'd say we wouldn't be having any trouble entertaining her.
I've got a feeling she'd like it. Well, now the girls are off seeing the property and Rosie and Doug aren't here yet. Looks like we have some time to ourselves.
I planned it that way.
Oh. How do you feel about coming back here as a guest?
I felt a twinge when we first arrived, but I think I've come to terms with losing the place.
Really?
Being happy makes all the difference.
Oh, you old smoothie.
No, I mean it. I think I used the place as a refuge whenever I felt the need to get away from Patricia. I can't see myself ever wanting to get away from you. In fact, I wish we could spend all our time together.
Well, another 6 months, that's all.
I don't want to wait. No, I didn't mean that the way it sounded. What I meant was, the house is large, there's lots of spare rooms. Why don't you move in? Share the house with me until we're married.
Well, you know what people would think.
Huh. You've always been the last one to worry about things like that. We'd know what we were doing. As for Wendy, Paul, Rosie, they'd understand if we explained.
Don't know about Wendy. Yes, I do. That's the trouble.
There is nothing offensive about sharing a house. Now, she should know you well enough to realize that's all it'd be. I love you, Barbara. I want to spend as much time with you as possible. Think about it.
I will.
Hello. Oh, hi. Mrs. Jarman said you shouldn't be long, so I decided to wait.
I'm glad you did.
You've been buying out the shop.
I have had a wonderful time. This is for Domini.
Oh, she's spoiled enough as it is.
Well, why not?
Oh, thank you. You can give it to her in a minute. Mrs. Jarman's got her in the kitchen giving her milk and cookies.
Oh, if it do with something to revive me, I think I might have overdone it.
I'll see if I can arrange a cup of tea.
Lovely. Oh, before you go, have a look at this. I don't know, but I think I might have made a terrible mistake. What do you think?
It's sensational. You look wonderful.
You think so? Oh. All I have to do is find somewhere to wear it now.
You could get your admirer to take you out. They arrived about 10 minutes ago.
Can't imagine who they'd be from. Didn't think I had any friends left.
Anyone I know? Mother?
Hmm?
Who are they from?
Oh, just an old friend. Nobody you'd know.
It's nice when people remember you.
Especially when it's so unexpected.
Hoping you'd be here.
Pretty good bet these days.
Still not getting much work.
Keep my head above water. Beer?
Wouldn't say no.
What can I do for you?
I went and saw Martin Healy, Dad.
And?
He finally admitted I'm his son. Didn't tell you before because we had a few hassles and I decided to wipe him.
Why?
Long story.
I'm going anywhere.
Patricia saw him coming out of Jill's flat and freaked. She told me her side of it. Made him sound pretty terrible. Anyway, I got mad and I fronted him. Told him I didn't want any more to do with him. He wouldn't accept it. Turned up last night at our place and we had it out. Finally, Patricia and he agreed that there'd been faults on both sides.
Now, what's the score now?
I reckon he's not a bad bloke.
Are you going to see him again?
We haven't lined anything up, but if he asked me for a beer, I wouldn't say no.
I see. Now, thanks for telling me.
It'll make no difference. As far as I'm concerned, you're my dad, not him.
Yeah, sure.
Can't get much fairer than that.
No, you're right, son. No, that's fair enough.
Oh, I love it here.
Too nice to be stuck inside.
It's so peaceful.
You were saying?
Yeah. Well, you must have changed her mind, but that's a good sign. She's finally decided to be sensible about us. Hello there.
Hi. Glad you could make it.
We had nothing better to do.
How did the filming go?
Oh, fine.
Tell the truth.
I was recognized by the photographer. If a Drew Stafford calls, I'm never home.
After your autograph, is he?
He's the type who becomes a pest very quickly. But your friend seemed nice.
Lynn. Nice kid.
Alan says we can have the horses if we take them out before breakfast. What are you doing here? Did you bring Millstone?
Sorry, he's with the neighbours. They're Metcalfs.
Oh, that's goodbye to another couple of friends.
You behave. You've done wonders with him lately.
Thanks.
Well, I'd better organize 2 more horses for tomorrow.
I think I'll give it a miss. I'd rather sleep.
You old lazy bones. Why don't you go and say hello to Alan? Twist his arm a bit.
For 1 extra horse.
Stick in the mud. You'll enjoy it once you get going.
I'll show where Alan is if you like.
How early morning is early morning?
6.
I know I'll regret it when the alarm goes off, but okay.
It'll do you good.
Come on. I hope you brought your camera with you.
Want me to take a photo when you fall off?
Oh,
coming?
Sure.
She's a different girl, isn't she?
With everyone but me.
Don't be silly. She was fine with you.
I think you're seeing what you want to see. I got the cold shoulder every time I talked to her. The only difference was she was polite about it. She didn't want to go horse riding because I suggested it.
Now who's reading things into the conversation?
We'll see.
Don't be so defeatist. By the time we get back from our ride tomorrow, the thaw will have well and truly started.
You're going to be stiff and sore tomorrow?
It was worth it.
I'm going to tear strips off her.
Why bother? Half, of course.
I won't have her being rude to you. You were only trying to be helpful. If you'd let her go on the way she was, the horse would have thrown her.
Might have done her some good. I should have backed off when I saw I was getting on her nerves.
Oh. There's a...
Next time I'll ask for a horse that isn't going to break my neck. Let's have breakfast. I'm starving.
No, first you do your horse, young lady.
Aren't there people employed to do that?
I'm afraid they're a little busy to be looking after house guests. And when you've finished, I'd like a word with you.
Idiot horse.
Barbara, watch out! Oh, my God.
Wow!
Is she all right?
He's unconscious. The doctor's staying at the Reed place calling.
How do you feel?
I've had better days.
Come in. We saw the doctor leaving.
Not a fast lick, I'm sure. Poor man was in a class when Gordon dragged him out.
What did he say?
Concussion. There could be some unpleasant side effects. Headaches, dizziness.
Look, I'll be fine once I've had a lie down.
Is there anything I can do?
Not really.
Take care of yourself. It's an apology.
Don't be too hard on her. She's really very upset, you know.
I think you should go back in there.
I can't.
Your mum's been through a rotten time. I'm sure she wants you with her.
I think I'd be the last person she'd want around.
Hey, she knows the accident wasn't on purpose.
That's not what I mean. I'm the emotional one in the family. Cry at the drop of a hat. If I went back in there, I'd get upset. And she'd be embarrassed. Public displays of emotion aren't the done thing in our house. Why don't you give Gail a hand at the horses? I'll come and help for a minute.
Okay. Lean on me.
Oh, I feel so ridiculous.
It's a nasty fall. You have every right to feel wonky.
No, I feel fine. I just got a bit dizzy sitting up, that's all.
I think we should get you to bed straight away.
I'll be all right. I'd like a cup of tea first. It was very sweet of Rosie to make it. Except, do you mind pouring? I can't promise not to spill it. Oh, don't look so worried, Gordon.
I can't help it. When I saw you fall...
You're not making a very good job of that.
Well, when the doctor was with you, I thought about our talk yesterday. You never know what is going to happen in life, and it's far too short not to be happy. I want to feel that you're my wife, even though we're not married. Now, you know what I mean by that.
Well, I wish we could.
All you have to do is say yes. We shouldn't be living our lives for other people. We'll know what basis it's on, and that's what's important.
It's a good sales pitch. I'll tell Wendy when I feel a little more up to it.
Would you mind if I did? It might be a chance to lay some cards on the table.
All right.
Should my ears be burning?
We had more important things to talk about. And as Barbara isn't feeling well enough to tell you herself, I volunteered for the job. When we get back to Sydney, Barbara's moving in with me. And we'll be married as soon as my divorce comes through. The last thing she needs is you upsetting her.
I won't let her do it. My father's only been dead a few months. It's disgusting.
Now that's enough. Respect your feelings for your father. I will not have your mother feeling guilty because she's in love again. Whether you like it or not, we'll live together and be married as soon as my divorce is through. As I see it, you have two options. Either you accept it, or you cut out completely. It's up to you.
He's so fiery and passionate, isn't he? How much attitudes have changed in just 16 years. They wouldn't blink about moving Gordy and Barbara in together these days. We saw all three of Patricia's major exes today, which is rather nice, because I've had this limerick about them from Celia Jones. There's David with all of his charm, and Gordy, who's always so calm. Now Martin is here, so crack open the beer and see who's done Pat the most harm. Well, it looks to me as though Patricia does still love Martin. She keeps those candles burning, doesn't she? I wonder if she'd choose him over David Sharma Palmer. Surely not. And Wendy has caused a few limericks too. This, I think, hits the nail on the head from Jack in Doncaster. I think there's something in the water, because Barbara has such a vile daughter. Her niece was called Prue, and she was gross too. I think that her family she should slaughter. 5 text page 444 has all the usual gubbins. Stay sad and be back here tomorrow, 1:30.